What is going on, guys? Hey, I want to come back to you. I wanted to bring a story about Nancy Mace, a congresswoman from South Carolina, that was on CNN next to Michael Eric Dyson. Now, if anyone knows anything about Michael Eric Dyson, they know this guy is a far left woke professor. I mean, that's what he is. There's nothing, there's no argument there. But they were at first discussing Donald Trump. They were discussing something he had said. And then Nancy moved the conversation into Kamala Harris. And again, you can't criticize Kamala Harris without being basically insinuated that you're a racist. But guys, watch this.
Trump says he's not ranting, but this press conference was a great example of a speech littered with all the things that he's been focused on for a long, long time. Is he capable, really, of staying completely on message here?
No, of course not. This was not a press conference, first of all. This was a campaign rally speech. He even had his supporters there at Bedminster, and he fooled the press once again, by claiming he was going to have a press conference. He spoke for 45 minutes before he even allowed a question to be asked. And when he did, he was just filled with lies over again. He made this comment about, more than 100% of new jobs that are created.
Look, I'll play it. So just so you don't have to paraphrase what it was. Listen.
Virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. You know that? Most of the job creation has gone to migrants. In fact, I've heard that substantially more than beyond the number of 100%.
Beyond a number of 100%.
I guess I need my calculator so I can go shoplifting with Donald Trump, because clearly you can't have more than 100% of jobs going to migrants. You can't even have 100% of new jobs going to migrants. It's not only mathematically impossible, it's just plain stupid. And how does this guy get taken seriously? How is it that he is a presidential candidate for the highest office in our country when he can't even complete a press conference without spewing lies and misinformation and obvious falsehoods?
I think all of us know the way that Donald Trump talks. Every single damn one of us knows the way he talks. I mean, again, I'm not saying that Trump says everything correct. I'm not saying there's been no criticism that I have of him. And again, back in 2016 when he first ran, I was very critical of certain things he did. But that's before I realized that, again, he puts extra emphasis onto everything he says. You know, again, like with the jobs, with the migrants being given over 100% of jobs. I think what he's talking about is these jobs are being created for them in mind and given to them. And again, a lot of these jobs are being created for them before they get here. And I think that's what he's kind of talking about. But again, they also did not finish that clip. So again, we have to understand that's something they do quite a bit. Then they criticize them. But, I mean, other politicians, they flat out lie to you. Joe Biden, he flat out lies. I mean, again, they've been talking about people crossing the southern border, that the border is more secure now than it was under Trump. No, it was not even close. Again, less than 500,000 people came across the border in 2020. In 2021, when Biden took office, like 1.8 million. But Biden, Kamala Harris, everyone tells you that, again, the border is more secure now. No, it's not. Not even close. And they're lying to you. It's not even embellishing. They're flat out lying to you. And they do it all the damn time. But again, the media never points that out. But here's what Nancy Mace and Michael Eric says. Here's what they get into it.
what Donald Trump is doing as an autocrat, as a fascist, as a dictatorially inclined man. The man's aspirations are huge. But the point is that Donald Trump has lied so repeatedly that we normalize his mendacity, his misogyny, his hatred for the ordinary citizen who happens to think logically about these issues. Now, he's got a whole bunch of stuff from the stores up there. He doesn't refer to it. His economic policies are vapid. They are empty. He has nothing to say to these people.
She has no policies on her website at all. She's got more pronouns.
She's a 9
Donald
pronouns
Trump
on her website.
sits there and tells lie after lie, and he gets normalized by good people like y'all who don't call him out on his bull.
Kamala Harris has more pronouns on her website than she does policy. The only thing she has on there is donate. She's running a Seinfeld campaign. The show is about nothing.
No, absolutely.
And she's winning, right?
She's not winning, actually.
No, she's aided and abetted by mainstream media. If you saw the headline by a neighboring network a couple weeks ago, days ago, when Donald Trump came out with his no taxes on tips policy, all of the headlines on mainstream media were derogatory. Kamala Harris comes out with her no taxes.
Kamala
Harris comes out with her policies on no taxes on tips, which is Donald Trump's policy, by the way. All of the headlines on mainstream media were positive and glorious and thoughtful.
I guess y'all are standing up for him because he didn't say any of this today.
Well,
everything you're saying is nothing he's ever said.
One of the things that we learned about her policy that she's going to roll out is support for a ban on price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think reasonable people would ask, what does that mean? What does that really mean? And how is the government going to be involved in it? Here's Noah Rothman in the National Review. He describes this policy as a rank pander to the economically illiterate. And despite the presence of many who fit that description in Congress, they understand that allowing the executive branch to functionally set prices is a brain-dead idea that would only hurt consumers in the long run. I mean, is this just a ploy? Because it sounds kind of like it.
Well, look, if you like it, it's called good policy. If you don't like it, you call it pandering.
But is it really policy? I mean, price gouging?
Look, if she could do that, Lord have mercy. I mean, she might need to be the Pope as opposed to the president, but she's able at least to set the tone. Here's what's important. First of all, in terms of Kamala not speaking about, Vice President Harris speaking about issues, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everybody has said that what she is doing is genius in the sense she's out-trumping Trump. So Trump is pissed.
Her campaign is being operated from a basement.
Well, hold on, let me just finish. Trump is being undermined by Trumpian-like politics in the sense that what she's done is, I understand when I'm going to speak, I understand what I'm going to say. She's going to form her policies and she's going to articulate them. Now, whether we agree with them or not is another thing.
First off, Michael Tyson, you're sitting there talking like a preacher man, saying that Donald Trump is going to be dangerous, a dictator. That's what you're doing. And again, you understand that appeals to a certain demographic. And again, this is what Donald Trump does. When Donald Trump says the things he says and the way he says it. But again, what Donald Trump's after is making this country great. Again, he understands that we can't become great by weakening everyone in the country, by pandering to people. You don't pander. Again, you make things open free that they can do what they want if they set their minds to it, and they do it. But again, that's how you make people and the country strong. I mean, think about it for a minute. The way you make anyone strong is, again, you allow them to do for themselves, to build something up and then fall. If they had to fall, let them fail. And again, when they get back up and they go at it, they're going to succeed. They're going to be stronger as a result. You allow people to go through what they have to go through. You don't pander. You don't give certain things to people because of the color of their skin, because their great grandpa was oppressed. You don't do it. Again, you have things open and equal at that time. Then you leave everything alone. You can't fix the past through the present. You can't. Again, you think you can, but you can't. And again, Donald Trump, he understands that. He also understands that we're making everyone in this country weaker But again, we pander to like the trans movement. You know, telling boys they can be girls and girls they can be boys. And again, feeling bad for everyone. Oh, you feel bad? Go ahead and have your pecker chopped off. Now, again, Donald Trump understands that kind of stuff is not real. But again, we understand Biden, Harris. Again, they love that kind of stuff. They invite the trans people, the movement right there to the White House. They don't care. That will not make this country great. What made this country great is by saying, hey, look, you can have what you want, but you got to work for it. And again, one thing I disagree with this country over was against slavery. But we had to remember, back where the country was founded, I mean, again, there was slavery around the world at that time. But the U.S. and Britain, they eradicated slavery here in the U.S. and in England. They eradicated it. They took it down. So we truly have to understand this is a great country. But again, you want to weaken that country. You want to divide everyone up into groups and weaken it. And again, that's not what he's about. And he's going to offend people like you. Because again, he states what's on his mind. He says what's on his mind. And Kamala Harris, again, we don't know anything about her policies, but we do know that, again, she wants to have price fixing. She wants to be able to fix prices. Again, we got to understand we don't allow government outside of an emergency to fix pricing. We don't. You know, again, we're opening up the door to allowing, again, a dictator. That is a real dictator, not Trump. Not saying that we got to shut our borders. We have got to be more selective of who we allow in. We got to get rid of DI and everything else. Again, that's not dictatorship. What is dictatorship? It is allowing the government to control how much you can sell something for and how much somebody else can buy it for. You know, again, that is true, taking one more step towards true socialism. But in this next clip I'm going to show you, Nancy Mace and Michael R. Dyson, they have a pretty big argument, disagreement, because again, Nancy Mace says Kamala Harris's name wrong, and that is racist. But the thing is, we have to, you know, again, I don't know how many times I've said her name wrong, and again, not on purpose. Watch this.
Number two, in terms of polls, the polls are a statistical dead heat. You say that means that she's losing. I'm saying for Donald Trump to have already been president once and coming back with the same reruns, Donald Trump is in a very vulnerable position.
Talk about rerun. Kamala's.
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounced her and you also misjudged her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
Mispronouncing her name.
That's a refusal to acknowledge her humanity.
If I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns
You're
it.
normalizing that kind of viciousness, man.
33 times.
She was the deciding vote,
and she was the vice on Joe Biden's bill. She was 33 times the deciding vote on Joe Biden's bills in the Senate.
And let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a racist.
That is complete.
You don't have to intend racism to accomplish it.
You are intending that I am
Your disrespect of Kamala Harris is part and parcel of a tradition of disrespect.
Why can't you just, Congresswoman?
Why can't
you just?
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is racist.
are. You absolutely are.
The prayer way
let me
on Saturday.
let me get in here.
No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor.
This gentleman said,
You know what?
I didn't know her name. He's trying to do it.
Is her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25 years
care
ago,
for your babies
25 years ago,
respected
I
your
became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I
So call her
fought my
name
way
right.
through it.
So pronounce her name
blood,
right.
sweat,
Let
and
me
tears.
actually
pronounce her name
and
right.
Kamala Harris, if I were
Kamala. You said
I
this
will
before.
say
Nancy
anything
Mace.
that I want.
It's
Come on,
Kamala.
it's Kamala.
You're doing this on purpose, Congresswoman.
That's disrespectful.
Just a second.
If-
You can't expect people to
If
respect
a
your
man put
service
on
if
a
you don't
skirt
respect
and walked
hers.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
Professor
That's
Dyson, let me get in
disgusting.
here.
You know, Michael R. Dyson, how do you know that, again, she did this on purpose? She said that on purpose. How do you know? You don't know. But again, you assume. You assume. Why? Because she's white. She's white from South Carolina. And she's a Republican. Ooh. So again, she must be doing it on purpose. And nobody criticize any black woman if they're white. You can't, because again, they built this country about the blood of their hands, whatever you said. No. We truly have got to recognize, Kamala Harris, whatever her damn name is, Kamala Harris, she never ever was suppressed in any way. But again, we have to bow down to what the woke say. No, we don't. And again, just because somebody's white and somebody's black doesn't mean if the white person says anything critical of them or what they're doing, does not mean they're racist. It might mean that the white person is stupid. Or it might mean they don't understand things correctly. They don't see it correctly. Or it might just mean they have a difference of opinion. And again, the truth will be worked out. But again, we got to stop assuming that it's about race. Guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a